So here we are in the crypt. There seems to be a lot of crumbling walls around.
Yeah, we're not actually in the crypt at the moment. From here, this passageway here, these walls that you can see on either side of us, archaeologists believe that this is part of the West Saxon wall of Oxford. So these walls that you see actually predate the crypt and also the castle by about half a century to 70 years. They were only excavated 6 or 7 years ago when the idea of this visitor attraction was first mooted, really. And it wasn't until then that archaeologists realised that the West Saxon wall of Oxford actually ran this far west.
So this is part of the origins of Oxford. I mean,
Without
here we are.
doubt. These walls were probably erected sometime between 1009 and 1022. They know now that they were there in 1071 when the Normans arrived, because they go right up to the base of St George's Tower. And it is known from the Anglo-Saxon chronicles that still exist that between 1009 and 1022 the Danes or the Vikings used to visit Oxford. They weren't shopping and they were not sightseeing, so it's reasonable to assume that the locals thought, well, we better do something to protect ourselves. So somewhere between 1009 and possibly as early as 1012, Oxford became a walled-in Saxon town for its own protection.
You don't want
against
those
these
pillagers
raids.
in, yeah.
Well, this is it. You know, you get put on rape and pillage every 2 weeks. Life must be hell.
I would
isn't it?
build walls like this as well. And how great when we get to, 1,000 years of Oxford to make a discovery
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah, absolutely superb. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Should we head
Yeah,
into
we
the
better
dark, dank?
Could you like to follow me just along here?
So it's very dark, it's very quiet, and it's a little bit spooky. We're in the crypt. What can you tell me about it?
Well, the crypt was built at the same time as the chapel. The chapel would have stood above us. The chapel and this crypt were built in the year 1074, so that's a year after the completion of the castle. And really what Robert Doyley created when he built the chapel and this crypt was a parish. Oxford Castle became the parish of St George. Yeah. The crypt, of course, is synonymous, like any crypt, with dead bodies. This is where they would have been held. Also possibly as a place where, if necessary, prisoners could be held as well, if necessary. And it is documented that during very hot weather, I suppose once every 10 years, they used to use it as a place for storing perishable foods.
It is very cool down here, isn't
Exactly. You just hope that the perishable bodies were somewhere else at the same
Yes,
time.
they really
But there
mixed,
you are.
didn't
No.
they?
But it was used as a larder, what we call
Fridge,
a larder. Yeah.
yeah.
And what you've got to remember is this is nearly 940 years old, 930 years old, and anything that old is not going to be exactly as the builder left it. Because in our own homes we add things, we take things away. So it wouldn't be exactly as he would have left, a builder would have left it. But the middle here that you can see around here, this is what Robert Doyley would have seen himself 930 odd years ago. Although it may have been changed, added to a little bit. And also, when it was built, this would more or less have been at ground level. Now, I don't know if you noticed, we've just come down 2 flights of stairs to get here. It doesn't mean this is sunk, it means Oxford, like any town or city over the centuries, has got that much higher, which they all do.
And that's one of the great things about this attraction, really, is that it's so eclectic. You've got so many different bits of history, all in one place.
It's all here. It's a timeline right from 1007, if you like, or 1009, right the way through to till today, till you just arrived today to do this. It's a continuum right the way through, and that's what we've tried to show that with linkage all the way through the events, the people, the characters, the nice things, the rotten things as well, right up until 2007.
Yeah, you really get a full picture, don't you, of Oxford and where it's come from, how it got to
you even get the incorporation of the university, how that was incorporated into the town, because a university is a magnificent institution and no one would take that away at all. But Oxford isn't just the university, it is a town and a city with very rich history in its very own right.
Yeah, that's right. Anyone who says Oxford is just a university is completely wrong. You've got to come here and find out there's much more to the city than you think.
If you'd like more information on the Oxford Castle Unlocked, please contact them on 01865 260 666.